Okay. My photo is coming there. Okay. The direction is slightly different. That's why. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Alhamdulillahi allazi wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulil kareem. Thank you for coming over here. We are indeed privileged that we have with us Dr. Hany El Banna. I think you all know, I don't have to introduce, and I think there will be very few words. I will be shortage of words to introduce him, his persona and his contribution and his vision. I will quickly request you all if you can introduce yourself one by one, very short, your name and the department, what you are doing with Islamic Relief and how long you have been associated with this organization. Quickly, can I start from the back? Yeah.
Assalamualaikum. This is Munshi Mahabub Rahman. I am working under MIL department, Monitoring, Evaluation, Accountability and Learning department. I am here for above 11 years. Alhamdulillah. Thank you, everyone.
Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon. This is Kabirul Haq Kamal, Program Coordinator, Child Welfare Program. And here I am already passing 5 years plus and looking after, alternative orphan family sponsorship program instead of one-to-one sponsorship. Thank you and welcome to Hany El Banna in Bangladesh. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. I am Murad Parvez. I am working as a senior officer, monitoring, evaluation, learning, and accountable learning and research department. I'm hearing more than 4 years. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. This is Elias. I'm working under Operations Support Department. I'm working here 14 years, above 14 years. Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Muhammad Haidar Ali. This is around 27 years.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. আমি খন্দকার আতাউল করিম, অ্যাসিস্ট্যান্ট অ্যাডমিন লজিস্টিক হিসাবে এখানে আছি। আই এম পাসিং অ্যাবভ 10 years. থ্যাংক ইউ।
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Mohi. I'm working in climate change and disaster resilience program for more than 6 years.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Gulam Mutasim Billah. I'm working here as head of humanitarian programs for last 6 years.
Assalamu alaikum. I am Aminul Islam, admin assistant and cook, and 5 years maybe.
Assalamu alaikum. I am Mujibur Rahman. I have been working with Islamic Relief for over 10 years.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Muhammad Enamul Haq, working as a program manager, livelihood and community development program, working since December 2010. It's like 9 years.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Munirujjaman. I am working as a program manager, health education and child welfare program. I am working here since 2011, May 2011.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Humayun Kabir, Operation Support Manager. I have been working with Islamic Relief for last almost 7 years.
Assalamu alaikum. I am Rakibul Islam, Audit Manager. I have been working here for 11 years. 8 years.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Mohammad Iqbal Hussain. I am working here since 2004. Currently my position is Deputy Program Manager under Humanitarian Department.
Assalamu alaikum. I am Muhammad Ashraf Alam Shagor, working with Health, Education and Child Welfare Program as a Program Officer, Reporting and Documentation. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. I am Mohammad Khaliquজ্জামান, working here as an IT coordinator, working since from December 2011.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Khademul Rashid. I am working with Islamic Relief Bangladesh under Climate Change and Disaster Resilience Program as a project officer. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Aisha Afroja Asha. As a front desk officer, I am working here 6 years above. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Rafatur Rahman Ruba, Program Coordinator, Child Protection and Education, and I have been serving here for 6 years. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Saiful Islam. I am working with Humanitarian Department since 2016 as a technical coordinator. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Nazia Tarannum, working in HR department as an assistant HR officer from February. This is 4 months going in IR. Thank you so much.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Dr. Jalal, Head of HR, working more than 10 years.
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah. Akmal Sharif, I am the country director, working in Bangladesh for almost 5 months now, but with Islamic Relief, this is my 5th year.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Helaluddin Mazumdar. I am working as assistant officer driving since 2006.
Assalamu alaikum. Sayyid Muhammad Jabir. I'm working in procurement department. I joined Islamic Relief July 2013. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. I am Abdullah Mahabub, working with Islamic Relief more than 12 years as a accounts officer with the finance department. Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum, brother. This is Shahinul Hassan. I'm working as a program coordinator under Livelihood and Community Development Program and working since 2006, more than 12 years.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Ghulam Mustafa. I am working as a program coordinator under Orphan and Child Welfare Department. I am serving in Islamic Relief more than 9 years.
Assalamu alaikum. I am Muhammad Asifur Rahman. I am working here as a HR coordinator. I have been working here from more than 5 years.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Munirul Islam from Climate Change and Disaster Resilience Program. I am working here as a program manager since November 2012. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. This is A.K. Mahasanuddin. I have been working here since this is my 3rd month. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Mohammad Rafil Basir Chaudhary. I'm here as the Senior Strategy and Communication Officer for just over 5.5 years.
Namaskar. I am Tapash Kumar Saha, working as a Assistant Accounts Officer about 5 years.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Suman Kumar Saha, Finance Department, Finance Coordinator. I am working IRB 14 years. 14 years.
जी हेलो अस्सलाम वालेकुम बिप्लब हुसैन असिस्टेंट ऑफिसर ड्राइविंग आफ्टर 8 years running.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Hafiz, support department, working as in Islamic Relief 15 years.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Khairul Islam. I working with finance department, assistant accounts officer. I working more than 8 years.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Saiful Islam. Working with admin department as a driver. I am working as 7 years.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Bokul. Islamic Relief 9 years.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Najiba Rashid. I'm Assistant Field Officer, Orphan Child Welfare Program.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Muhammad Shahidul Islam. I am working with Islamic Relief as a senior procurement officer since 2008. Thank you.
Maybe I think we have kept this format pretty open. We didn't, we thought that we should rather listen from you. Staffs are here and they wanted to hear from you. So I will request you to say a few words. Inshallah.
Alhamdulillah, Wassalamu ala Rasulullah. I don't know how many times I came to Bangladesh, but the first time I came to Bangladesh was 1991, at the time of the big flood. I have a very good memory, very exciting memory with my first visit. I was doing my Doctor of Medicine, like PhD, and at that time I failed in writing. I was very bad writer, a lot of bad spelling. I did not know the difference between is and are and why and he and whatever it is, and I failed. Major failure. At that time they let me to sit down with the Dean of the Royal College of Pathologists, who was the head of the pathology department in Birmingham, because the examiners found in the thesis very good scientific material. My English was bad, but the scientific material was excellent. That's why the Dean of the Royal College of Pathologists invited me and asked me to come and sit, and told me, I will help you in writing the English, but I want you to pass the exam because we want your thesis to be in the library. Come on, sister, there are 2 seats here. If you can't see us, come on, come here. Yeah, and you, there's 2 seats here. And so at that time, the flood in Bangladesh happened. 1991. There's another one here. Sister.
She will block the vision.
No, she will sit behind me here. Come and sit down. At that time, there was a flood of Bangladesh. Islamic Relief was very small. 1991. Very, very small. About 200,000-300,000 pounds. And 2 young people from Bradford, Pakistani volunteers, raised 30,000 pounds. Was a very big amount for us. And I was very happy. And the British Airways said we'll give you two first class ticket to come to Bangladesh. Because I was writing my thesis, I was trying to find somebody else to come. Nobody wanted to go to Bangladesh. This was in July, and they're supposed to submit the thesis in November. I decided to go and to come here. And this is a good story between me and Bangladesh. On the same day, in the evening, I went to my office in the University of Birmingham, and I was working on the data, which I have for the last 5 years. Allah inspired me to write a new theory. On that day, after I decided to come to Bangladesh and leave my thesis. The message here, you cannot be generous to the people and Allah will not be generous with you. When I decided to come here, Allah led me to think better, to get new theory to write in my thesis. I wrote it. Then I went to my boss on Monday. This was Friday. It was Friday. And I told him, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He said, yes, excellent. Put it in the thesis. Then I came to Bangladesh. Then I passed my MD. Then I went to Bosnia. Later on at the same year, at the end of the year. Then, next year. Then I gave up medicine in 1995. This was my first visit to Bangladesh in 1991 when I came and I stayed for about 2 weeks. Most of you don't know Islamic Relief in UK. Anybody visited UK? Yeah, you have. Anybody else? First of all, why I am filming? Because I would like to show you, to everyone, listen about the success of Islamic Relief in Bangladesh. It's not the CEO in Birmingham. It's not the head of the chairman of the board of trustees, whatever it is. It's you. Each and every one of you is making the success story. Without you, we cannot do anything. It's all about you, not about the HQ. The success story comes from the field, comes from the local community, comes from local initiatives, comes from the local innovative solution. It's you. You live the difficult time, you find the best solution. That's why I thank brother who asked each and every one of you to mention his and her name and see what they are, what you are doing. We started Islamic Relief 34 plus years ago. No office, no table, no chairs, no desks, no computer, no telephone, no money, few money. Serious, I'm not joking. No vision. It was after the famine in East Africa in 1983. We found that the Muslims in UK do not have any contribution. Sister, I'll come this way. Go this way? No, it's not right. Come this way. Come this way.
Yeah. Because a lot of people would like to hear from you how actually this organization started.
That's what I'm saying.
Because that is a great motivation story for all
Inshallah.
of us.
I will. Sit down, sister.
We have been now part of such a big umbrella.
Inshallah.
So how, mashallah, I think how it started. I think you are the best person to explain.
Inshallah. Inshallah. So in 1983 there was a famine in Africa and the Muslim community in UK was doing little. There was no Muslim organizations. There was no Muslim organization. I was invited to attend a medical meeting in Sudan, and I was just recently married to my wife. Have you met her? Not yet. Not yet. And I did not have money to go to this medical meeting in Khartoum. I went to the Sheikh in London, who was a student of my father, because my father was a professor of Islamic Sharia in Azhar University. And the Sheikh opened the drawer and gave me £300 for the ticket. I took the Egypt Air flight to Khartoum. When I went to Khartoum, okay, I told the taxi, take me around. And when we went to the Grand Hotel, we found the people are there. At the end of the meeting, this is how it started. At the end of the meeting, one of the Sudanese brothers took us to the camps and he educated me. There's a lot of people here, Muslims and non-Muslims, want you to do something. And he gave me some photographs. Okay, he gave me some photographs to show to the people. I went to Cairo as a transit to see my family. I raised the first £1,500 for the family in Africa. But the first donation was from a young boy at the age of 9, was 20 pence. 20 pence. Then I came to Birmingham with £1,500, and I took one of my friends who was Iraqi, originally Palestinian Iraqi, to open the bank account. The first bank account was opened in January 1984. So the date of starting Islamic Relief was 17th of January 1984, Tuesday. If you go back, find it's Tuesday, 5:30 in the evening. Were you with us? 17th of January. Then after that, we went from street to street, shop to shop, door to door to distribute leaflets. No big guy behind us, no big organization behind us, only going to distribute leaflets to the people and say, help the people in Africa.
That was for the Muslim community or common other?
Sorry?
The leaflet distribution was?
Anything. I was distributing it myself. I am the one who was distributing it. I was the one. My wife was typing. On a typewriter. Have you seen the typewriter?
Yeah.
Okay. There's no typewriter now in UK. It's gone. Because like in the museum now. In Bangladesh there's plenty. I know that. But in UK and Europe there's no typewriter. They come in the museum now. Okay? My wife was typing, and his wife, Dr. Ihsan Shabib, was actually doing the activity with the woman to raise fund for the people in Africa. Even at that time, we did not call it Islamic Relief. We call it the Committee of Helping Muslim Refugees in Africa. This was the first bank account for Islamic Relief in National Westminster Bank in January 1984. We were going around. I talk too much, okay? And as you understand, can see I have a heavy voice, okay? I can frighten people, okay? But I was going from door to door, street to street, mosque to mosque, distribute leaflets. 1984, we did not have any office, as I said. The first office we have is a donation box. We bought 3 donation boxes and we bought it in the community center in Birmingham in 517 Mosley Road. And every Friday we used to go there, every Saturday, because there's Islamic Circle to attend. Every Saturday we used to go there to open the donation box. £5, £10, £50, £100, whatever it is. In August 1984, we found one check, 1,000 pounds. Say, Narai Takbir. 1,000 pounds after 8 months. After 8 months. The first visit to Sudan to help the people who came from Eritrea and Tigray in 1984 was August, September 1984. To do the first project for the organization which did not exist because we changed the name. In 1985, we had a meeting with Cat Stephen. You know Cat Stephen? Cat Stephen, Yusuf Islam, the singer. The singer. Okay. Cat Stephen, and he is the one who gave us the name of Islamic Relief. 1985. At that time, we had a very small office, 3 meter by 3 meter. You are very lucky. Extremely lucky in Bangladesh. As I said, every Saturday we used to go in 1984 to open a donation box. No desk, no room, nothing. But let me to focus with you on the story of 3 personalities in this creation of an organization which you belong to it now. First, the individual who gave the sheikh in London the 300 pound, which he gave it to me to buy the ticket. Nobody knows him, whether he is a man or she is a woman, African or Asian, Bengali or Pakistani, Arab, nobody. But Allah knows that individual. And when this individual will come to meet with Allah, Allah will tell him, here, your 300 pound. Of course, this individual does not know me, will never realize Islamic Relief. But Allah will tell him, this is what you have done, and this is what your 300 pound did. Okay, this number 1, make a prayer for such an individual. Ameen, Ya Rabbil Alameen. The second individual is the one who educated me in Khartoum. Okay? And gave me the photograph, which now I can't remember who was he. The third individual in the story is a young boy who gave the first 20 pence. When you look at the 3 characters, these are the real founder of Islamic Relief. Someone gave 300 pounds, nobody knows. Someone gave us some photographs, and someone actually gave 20 pence. He's a professor now in the university. This is how we started. If you want to ask any questions, I'm ready for that. What other question you want?
No, I think close the point. Continuation.
Okay, from 85, we started to serve the community in UK. We have to introduce Islamic Relief everywhere. Everywhere, everywhere. So we used to have something called caravan tour. Now we are in Ramadan. Is that right? Caravan tour start 1 day before Ramadan. Going out from Birmingham to all the cities in UK. Distribute leaflets, sleep in the mosques, raise funds, and talk about Islamic Relief. For 4 weeks in Ramadan. We didn't used to stay with our wives, our children, our families. On the move, on the move, on the move, till the 27th or 28th of Ramadan. Continuously. Huh? Yeah.
So in the meantime, you are actually devoted to doing all the things, but what about your personal life and your personal...
I was a medical doctor.
No, I understood, but for your livelihood and other things.
I was medical doctor.
He was a medical doctor, he was practicing doctor also.
Yeah.
How could you manage your time for the whole Ramadan?
I will leave the work for the month. Like the Tablighi brothers. You see Gasht, you know Gasht? Yeah. 1 weekend, 40 days, 40 days in a year, or 1 year in a life. Okay, 3 days in a week. Okay, 40 days Huh? In a year, and 1 year in a, because I used to be tablighi. Okay? So for these 4 weeks, I started it, but then somebody else was going it. But the most important thing is to be with the people. To be with the people all the time, especially at the month of Ramadan, to educate them what to do. This is how we started to talk to the Muslim community and everybody. To sell books, Islamic books, to sell perfume, utur, to sell tasbih, to sell burqa, and all this. Every mosque was waiting for us because all the mosques at the time was very poor. Don't know how to go to London to get all these books and tasbih and bukhur and other and. This is how we started. To be known to all the mosques in UK. Second big project we did in 1989 was Islamic Relief Games. We wanted to look at after the youth. So we used to organize big games for 1 day. Football, volleyball, table tennis, kabaddi, you know kabaddi? Yeah. Kabaddi, takraw from Malaysia. What else? What they say? Kabaddi, badminton, okay? And there's something you play it with a stick. Cricket. Cricket, and so on and so on. And this went for 10 years. 7,000 or 8,000 people used to come for the day to enjoy themselves, playing football, coming from Glasgow, coming from Southampton, coming from Wales, coming from East Anglia, everywhere. That's why Islamic Relief was a grassroots organization. Most of the workers of Islamic Relief, the supporter of Islamic Relief were young. 84, 85, 86, 87, 89. You see, Nasser, who came here last year, sorry, your CEO, is 25 years in Islamic Relief. Okay? Mustafa Osman, who you know him as used to be the head of humanitarian department, started in 1992, 93. Anwar Khan started at the age of 22 or 23. Jangir Malik, okay, started at the age of 25, 26. Okay, Affan Shima started with Islamic Relief Games as a volunteer. Adnan Shima, his cousin, who now working for UNDP in Iraq, started the same from Islamic Relief Games. Khalid Al-Muwallid was working now for UN OCHA in New York, started at the age of 21, 22, 23. We believe in the young people at that time, and now they became hero. Okay, Sikandar Ali, the same in Pakistan, was defeated, and so on. Many people. That's why the first 5 years we were heavily relying on young people. Thereafter, the flood in Bangladesh in 1991. Cyclone. I'm sorry. You see, I'm ignorant in terminology. Thank you, sir. Cyclone. Jazakallah khair. May Allah bless you. After that, there was 2 big things happen. One in Sudan, flood in Sudan. The second one was the Iran earthquake. In Sudan flood, a volunteer rang me and she told me, I want to see Islamic Relief plane, Islamic Relief ship. A young woman. Said, okay. We chartered a plane to take the humanitarian material to Khartoum at that time. And I remember at that time, the Saudi ambassador donated 25,000 pounds for this material. In 1991, I think, again, it was, or 1990, it was the earthquake in Iran. Islamic Relief, you have to understand this. Islamic Relief was the first organization in UK to raise fund for the victims of the earthquake in Iran without looking at Shia or Sunnah. Even before the Shia started to come out, for any mosque, whether you call them Sufi, Salafi, Jamaat Islami, Tablighi, whatever, Dubandi, Gujarati, whatever you call it. We were the first. And we raised about £250,000 for that, which was big amount of money at that time.
14 million.
No,
Quarter million.
Quarter million. 250,000. We're just very small. That time was very big. But it's all done by the youth. This all was done by the youth. So you have got the famine in East Africa, you have got Bangladesh cyclone, you have got the flood impacts in Sudan, you have got the earthquake in Iran, then came the war in Bosnia. Before the war in Bosnia, Islamic Relief was £1 million. It went up to £5 million. 1992 to 1995. We were the first organization to go in the whole Arab world to tell the organization about the people exist in something called Bosnia, Kosovo, Macedonia. They don't know. And in 1992, May to July, I took the Sheikh of Bosnia with me to go around. Went to UK, then went to Qatar, then went to Bahrain, then went to Emirates, then went to Kuwait, then went to Egypt, then we came back. High level meetings and visits with the Sheikh of Bosnia to introduce the problem of Bosnia. This is how Islamic Relief responded effectively, strongly, from a very small, very small office. The one in the ground floor was 3 by 3 meter. The one in the first floor about 4 by 4. After 7 years, we had 2 offices. After 7 years, we had 2 offices. But to build a very good relationship with mosques, with churches, with governments, with everybody. Then we started to go out to register offices in different parts of the world. France, Belgium, Holland, Germany, okay? Then USA, then Italy, then in Sudan as well, and we started to open the offices. You can ask me a question. At that time, the political climate was very good to travel, transfer money, no Islamophobia, very little, no war on terror, at that time. That's why Islamic Relief managed to build all its fundraising offices in the rich countries. We never depend on the Arab world at the very beginning, because we have to establish a strong base in where we live. It was UK, France, Belgium, Holland, Germany, now Sweden with us now, then went to America. Then recently, 10 years ago, in Canada. And so on, so on, so on, so on. So we balanced between the fundraising offices and the field offices. You, Bangladesh, and Sudan were the first 2 offices actually opened at that time. Then we registered the Islamic Relief in the UN 1993.
In the UN.
ECOSOC. 1993. This was a big story. I'll just end by that and you can ask questions, okay? Because I talk too much. I don't like talking too much. Okay. I'm like the imams. Imam tell you 5 minutes and take you 2 hours.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. It was Ramadan. You see, I said the caravan tour was in Ramadan. Registering Islamic Relief in UN in New York, it was in Ramadan. And it was myself, Khalid Roy, originally Indian, okay, He's from, where's the brothers from? You know the classes in India, either from the, from huh?
Brahmins.
Whatever they call it. You are Indian, sorry.
Yeah, it's a Brahmin.
Yeah.
He's the brother of Pranav Rai.
You know his brother?
Yeah, Pranav Rai, quite big man.
Yeah, that's it. That's him. It was me, him, and Salah Saeed. Salah Saeed now is the CEO of DEC. But at that time, Salah Saeed was little. Khalid Roy was little. So we went to register and wanted to talk about what's the questions of next day. We never been to UN before. And we didn't know what to do. But we were dreaming to put Islamic Relief into UN 1993. So Khalid was very good because he used to work for Oxfam, VSO and others. He put some questions for me. Next day, I went big hall. All the ambassadors were there from different countries. We were the only Islamic organization in the group. And they gave you about 20 minutes to respond to the questions. And I stood on the stage, and Allah let the ambassadors to ask us the questions that we were discussing the night before. Big subhanallah. We were fasting on that day, and Khalid put the questions, and they answered all of them. Alhamdulillah, because as if I am making hifz, and I am reading from in front of me. Every ambassador was excited, apart from one, from a country. She did not like Islam, and she was a feminist. She didn't like me. She said, no, we need to look at their papers. I did not understand what does it mean. Then I met an Egyptian lady. She was an advisor to somebody there. She told me I have to do lobbying. I did not know what did she mean by lobbying. I went out to talk to the French ambassador, to the Russian ambassador, to the Costa Rica ambassador, to the Irish ambassador, to 3 Arab ambassadors. They brushed me off without mentioning the names. Brushed me off. One of them told me, because of the name of your organization, it's very difficult to get you in. The second one told me, because you must have a relationship with Iran. I said, I don't have this and this. And anyway, I was waiting from Monday till Friday. I distributed documents to everybody from Islamic Relief, good time difference between New York and London. So I didn't sleep for 5 days because of time difference. They wake up 5 hours before us. So they sent all the faxes at that time. On Friday, you know what happened, brothers and sisters? You know what happened?
No, I don't know.
You know what happened? I was fed up. Then I went to the podium, stood up on the podium, and I held the microphone and said, I'm not leaving. Tell me, what do you want from me? I've been here for 5 days, giving you all the documents, and you were silent. The chairwoman told me, please sit down, come down. I said, I'm not going to come down. I'm not going to calm. I'm not going to go back to my seat. You people got everything you want. You give me a decision now. And I was in my tune like this. This was Friday after Eid, as we are approaching Eid now. You know who supported us in this meeting to be registered? Any suggestion? Any ambassador, name of ambassador, country?
UK maybe?
UK?
Prince Charles.
Prince Charles? No, the ambassadors. Germany? Pakistan, Bangladesh? The Irish ambassador. He stood up and gave us recommendation. And he held the paper in his hand like this. and told the chairwoman and everybody that we have received all documentation from Islamic Relief and I support them, okay? And even they donated 300 tons of wheat flour to us in Bosnia before becoming a member of ECOSOC.
Were there any Muslim ambassador in that meeting?
Three. And he said, by Monday, we put Islamic Relief on the table for the first on the table. So those people have been living in New York, spending a lot of money. New York is very expensive, and we are wasting the money of their charity. This was Friday afternoon. Okay, during Eid time. It was celebration. On Friday, I met the Sudanese ambassador. He told me, I'm going to do something. On Monday, the Sudanese ambassador stood up and gave a speech. Dun, 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 dun. What dun, dun mean?
Love, love, love.
Love, love, love. Okay, and then we were registered because of the Irish, after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and because of the Sudanese ambassador who endorsed this. This is how we register. If you fight for your right, nobody will deprive you of your right. But if you don't fight for your right, you lose everything. Stand up for the rights of the people. Stand up for the issue, not for the job or the salary. Stand up for the victims. Like in Bosnia, at least 50,000 young girls and women have been systematically raped 4 or 5 times every day, being put in concentration camps, released when they become 5 or 6 months pregnant. This happened under our eyes, in front of our eyes. We heard it, and now they call Muslims terrorists. Okay? So this is how we started in the first 10 years of Islamic Relief. That's to answer your question. Any other questions from the brothers or sisters?
This was, I think, I wanted to know more.
What is your wife?
My wife.
Great contribution at the beginning time of form.
My wives are here.
So what is your real wife?
She's shocked now. My real wife, Allah gave her to me as a gift. And because she is patient, she does not need too much of dunya. Actually, she let me go. When you leave your wife for a month in Ramadan, sometime you come, when we used to travel to Latin America in Ramadan, we come after Eid. So you don't see your children in Ramadan, you don't even have Eid with them. Okay? And she has a few children. So the role played by my wife and your wife should be a great role. Okay? No, one hand cannot clap. Can you hear me? This is my hand and this is my wife's hand. Can you hear me? Claps. That's it.
Is she a doctor?
No, she's a housewife.
She's a bigger doctor than I.
Yeah, inshallah. With her, I got my MD.
That's what I'm telling.
Yeah. With her, I got my MD, which is the PhD in medicine. With her, I got my doctorate, honorary doctorate from Birmingham University on the contribution we did for Islamic Relief. With her, I got my OBE from the Queen. And with her, we got Islamic Relief. So I've got 4 babies. Anybody else?
2 things I want to know from
Okay.
Your successful story with the leadership.
Thank you. What is your, you just want to know from you, your one bitter experience so far after the long journey of Islamic Relief and your successful story? You told me, and what is a successful moment for you being the founder of Islamic Relief?
Let me talk about my failures first. Nobody on earth can succeed without failing. Okay? I'll talk about my failure. Then I go to the success. Okay? I was a very hard. I frightened people. Scared them when I was manager, when I was young. It's number one. Sometimes I used to overspend money. Because people are actually listening to the boss without asking the boss. Scared. So I did a lot of mistakes at that time, but I learned from them. If you don't learn from the mistakes, you'll never succeed. Now I was before, I'm listening more than I was before. But when I was young, because I started at the age of 30 something, I was... And when I look at you, I scare you. Even one time, one of the men heard my voice, and he wet himself. This was more than 25 years ago. This is how bad I was. But the most successful story is you, because we never dream that to have these hundreds or thousands of people working globally. We never dreamed that actually we'll have offices in Canada, in America. We never dreamed that up till now, Islamic Relief is fighting hard to stand in the middle of the storm of counter-extremism, counter-terrorism, and Islamophobia, and being attacked right, left, and center, and managed to swim. Never dreamt that, but we are there. The success story is to go from serving one organization to serve the sector. That's why when I was in Islamic Relief, we established or we built two organizations. One of them called Muslim Charities Forum, which include Muslim Aid, Human Appeal, Human about 16 organizations. Talk about the Muslim charity sector in UK. The second one is Humanitarian Forum, which is a bridge between East and West. And these are smaller than Islamic Relief and Muslim Aid, but it plays a different role. So you don't do humanitarian. I'm very happy to see that somebody, where's the climate man? Climate.
Climate man is here.
It's gone, huh? Gone with the tree, huh? No, خلاص. You talk about climate now. You talk about child protection. You talk about gender. You talk about all these sort of things. You produce papers. This is a story, success story. It's not only feeding. You talk about livelihood. You talk about like empowerment of men and women and youth. Islamic microfinance, and so on, so on, so on, so. This is a success story because you keep elevating the community by elevating your standard. If you don't elevate your standard, you will never elevate the community. Because the community will be elevated on your shoulder. If your shoulder is not high enough, they will never rise. As a leader, you have to create the flow for the community so they can follow you. Leaders do not follow any flow, but they always create the flow. And now what you see now is a change of the culture of humanitarian sector globally. Islamic Relief started it 30 years ago. If you want to make a climate change, it's not overnight. It's not in a year. It's not in 2 years. It takes about 30, 40, 50 years. If you want to plant banana or jackfruit, okay, or mango in Siberia, you need to change the climate in Siberia. Okay? It takes you how much? How long? Maybe 100 years. But you start the 100 years with the first step on the first day. 100 years multiplied by 365 days, you talk about 36,500 days. You can't change the climate in 1 day, or 5 days, or 50 days. might take you 36,500 days.
Dr. Hani, you have been, I think, you have seen kind of a journey from it's almost 35, 37, 36, 35 years almost, like, since 1984. The way you thought in maybe in the 90s, and now you see the Islamic Relief. How do you see this journey in terms of your vision? Are you satisfied that the organization is heading towards the right direction? Or do you feel that it has diverted? Or do you feel that it has met beyond the expectation of what you thought in the beginning? But that's my first question. Second question, which I'm keen to know, how do you see the changes within the organization and in terms of working culture, of your time under your leadership, and now, which is a more kind of very, as you said, you don't have the computer. We have the computer, we have everything, every support system. Still, many times we crib, we complain that we don't have this, we don't have this. So how do you see this? Thank you.
Second question, I'll start with the second first. Second question is normal. Prophet ﷺ said the best century is my century. Him and his Sahaba. Then the second, then the third, then the fourth, then becomes less and less and less and less and less. Prophet ﷺ said, Allah will send one individual on the beginning of every century to renew the religion. Make ijtihad. Between the foundation and the founders' time and the followers on leading will be different culture. Now, the good thing about any founder, which is the Prophet ﷺ was the founder of the religion Islam and promoter. They are surrounded by the man of the vision. At a time when people could not be able to go and pass water at the battlefield of the parties, Al-Ahzab, and the wind is blowing, and he was telling them, I can see the palaces of Yemen, the palaces of Persia. I said, what? We can't go out because they're frightened, afraid to walk out. The enemies are surrounding them, and he's telling them, this is the vision. That's why at the time of the founder, this is the vision and the spirit driving the technique of the program. When the founder is not there anymore, the power of the technique of the program will become forward, because it will become like a conveyor belt, and things has to be good. 1, 2, 3, 4. The challenge here, actually, you have to ask the organization to bring back the culture, which can speed up and shape and conduce the technical program. You have to marry the spirit again, the culture and the value to the program, which is not in the Islamic Relief. It's missing in most of the big organizations. Okay? The first question? What was the first question?
How do you see these changes over a period of time? The vision which you thought of in the beginning when you started this organization with some other people, and now it's almost 35 years of journey. So in this trajectory, do you feel that we have lost the vision, or we have amplified the vision, or you feel that you are satisfied and then beyond your expectations the organization has grown up?
Yeah. You have to review the vision every time. You have to review the strategy, especially the strategy. Maybe the vision could be one that you would like to serve humanity. The way could be strategy. And with the way, you might find different technique, strategic technique in this country or this country or this country or this country. When we started, we were focusing help, help, help. Now, you are building organization. Now, you are building an institution. Now, you are producing policies. Now, you are producing research papers. Now, you are making relationship with governments. Now, you are making relationship with big donors. Now, you are making relationship with big institutions, multinational institution, and so on. Now, you are in the media. Some media hate you, some media likes you. Now we are at the time of terrorism, the climate of terrorism, the climate of extremism, which you have to fight all this while you are progressing. So the organization has to look at the surroundings and build its fortress, citadel or castle around it to protect it, whether through partnership, whether through policies and procedures, whether through many things. So the growth was very good. You see, now we have independent offices. America is independent as an American entity. Canada is the same, UK is the same, and so on. And now we are trying to bring this family together. It's a big challenge to put 40 different entities under one platform, umbrella. And the challenge now is internally to bring every member of the family together, and externally to fight against the Islamophobia and the Islamophobe. But I am satisfied because we were the first to stir, or actually the water, when you throw a stone in the water, what's called? Huh?
Steering the water.
To stir the water and change the water from a stagnant to a flowing water. And now, alhamdulillah, in UK, more than 100 charities.
Yeah, a lot of charities.
This, maybe we know, maybe more than them we don't know. You were the first in Europe and America. Now see how many millions and millions and millions and millions of pounds being raised in the West. Now we are ahead of the rich countries, in the Muslim countries, because they have more freedom. More freedom in the West, more than the freedom in the East. That's why you are growing. Now you are a challenge to change the climate of the humanitarian sector, the culture of the humanitarian sector. Even, I remember the current Secretary General of the United Nations, when he used to be the head of UNHCR, the first conference in 2006 about Islam and refugees was organized by him and the Islamic Relief in Malaysia. Antonio Guterres, a good man, a good friend of mine, and a good friend of all of us. But now you cannot, it's quite big distance between us and him now. He was the first one to organize this conference with Islamic Relief in Malaysia about Islam, the role of Islam or the view of Islam and refugee status. See, 2006, now 2018, 2001, now 2000. You see, when 2001 came, everybody was scared. We had this discussion in the Islamic Relief office in the washroom when you make wudu. It was myself and the head of the IT and the technology and the head of media. I was making wudu and they were washing their hands. And the head of media was Englishman, Christian, committed. He said, we have to dive down, to bend our head. I said, no. No way you dive down while everybody is on the attack. We represent the Muslim community in the West. We have to stand up and face and protect and the Muslim community in the West and all over, because we do not believe that such people who did September 11th event or whatever you call it are truly representing our faith. And we took this hard line to stand up, to face any media, to face any challenge. First, September 11, 2002, CNN was making 1-hour documentary on Islamic Relief work in Gaza in a positive way. November 2001, Panorama program in London was positively writing things about Islamic Relief on Panorama program. If we could not stood up firm and fight back, Islamic Relief have been taken. Many organizations decided to dive. It became drowned. So you have to study each time differently, before and after Islamophobia. Any other questions, brothers and sisters?
A very similar question to Brother Akmal. How happy are you with the progress of Islamic Relief since its inception? We know there are many milestones Islamic Relief achieved. Are you happy with the milestones Islamic Relief achieved? Is there any regret for not being able to achieve it? Thank you.
Okay. First of all, I'm happy. But let me tell you, there's a proverb in English, say, sky is our limit. You know this?
Yeah, sky is the limit, yeah.
For me, sky is our beginning. Because Allah has created galaxies and planets beyond our imagination. This could be our limit. Because if we do not reform Earth and humanity, which it is seeding the sky, we cannot guarantee that we'll live in a heaven. Its width is the width of heavens, or all the skies and earth. عرضها كعرض السماوات والأرض. So nobody should put a ceiling for his achievement. Once you put a ceiling for your achievement, you will become a stagnant water. You will not become a river. Stagnant water collect bugs. It's not drinkable. Okay? It's infested. So for any leader amongst you, brothers and sisters, never put a ceiling. And always do the event, and at the end of the day said, what's next? We've done a conference. But at the end of the conference, ask the people, what's after the conference? Conference is not an aim. Conference is a mean. You done a project. What's after the project? You started the program. What's after the program? You made a local market. Very local market. Was what after that? Talk about if you start the economy with the local market, okay, that means that you are aiming to build the economy, the industry, okay, the commercial enterprise in the country. So this, but actually, if you stood at a market, that's it. So what? Good, but not good enough. So don't ever put a ceiling for your achievement and for your vision. And this is what the Prophet ﷺ taught us to do. Wallahi ya am, see his belief in his mission, of course, was very strong. Wallahi, oh Allah, my uncle, they gave me the moon in my right hand side, or the sun in my right hand side, and the moon in my left hand side. I will never leave this deen. This is here. But at the same time, he was showing them the way that they are going to achieve after hundreds of years. The conquest of Constantinople happened in 14 something, 1400 something, nearly 8 centuries after the Prophet ﷺ died. But the vision was there. There was no ceiling for him. He didn't say that I'm going to conquer Medina, and that's it. All right? What's the second question?
Any regrets for not being able to achieve?
There was one project in Sudan, in South Sudan, in 2004 or 5, I think so. With my first visit to South Sudan was 2003. And we work with the non-Muslim local community organizations. And we submitted the big project, about $8 million, to one of the big organizations. Okay? Unfortunately, They did not give us, in spite of the fact that the Sudanese non-Muslim, South Sudanese non-Muslim organization were our main partners. But did not give us the money in this area, and they give us the money in another area where there was a lot of Muslims in east of Sudan, which is Damazin. I was very upset and tears because I wanted to serve our brothers in South Sudan and to bridge the gap of division between Islam and Christianity and Islam and the other religion. I was very, very upset. You see?
Whole 8 million money they were diverted from there to
No, they will give it to other organizations. Because you have been doing a lot of bidding. With ECHO, with others. Okay, so we have to, they give us this one because we have got good experience in the East. And, and you know what? The people who are supporting Islamic Relief in South Sudan were the Christian Sudanese. When somebody was trying to attack Islamic Relief and accusing it of being Islamizing and converting people to Islam, you know what the Christian in the South said? We know them. Don't touch them. Because know what they are doing. And this is from the non-Muslim community in South Sudan.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity again. Just again 2 questions. Number 1 is like 34 years have passed since Islamic Relief started. A lot of success stories. So do you have any plan that after 50 years of Islamic Relief, what do you plan or you see to do more thing after 50 years, innovative things for Islamic Relief, number 1. Number 2, what we are doing, Islamic Relief, the other organizations like Oxfam, CARE, Concern. So do you have any kind of idea that we can do any other things which other organizations are not doing? Do you have any plan for this?
From day one, long time ago, we were always saying that you are an organization with a character. If others have got their own characters, good for them. Join, but don't follow. In a way, join, but don't imitate. I'm very proud of my color, very proud of my broken English, which led me to fail my MD degree. Very proud of my accent. So what? I speak a second language. This is your own language. When you speak Arabic, you'll have an accent. When you speak Urdu, you'll have an accent. So what's wrong with you? You want me to have an Anglo-Saxon accent or a French accent? Why? When you have this in your heart, you can produce a character of your organization. A lot of organizations have a lot of money, but have no characters. Oxfam has a character, SAVE has a character, CARE has a character. All of them have characters. Okay? Why don't you have a character? Yes, you agree with them as a partner, as a member of their club, not as an invitee. You're not an invitee anymore. You first become a member, then you become a leader. One of the things which I regret, come back to you, a project that we wanted to make in 2004 about building the future leader inside Islamic Relief. It didn't happen. But I hope that the Academy is dealing with it now. Yeah, 2004. If we could have started this project, because to be very honest, let me be very frank with all of you. We used to get people ex-big organizations, ex-huge organizations, without mentioning the name. And I could not be able to swallow them because they become like a government bureaucrat, waiting for the salary, the budget, because it's stable. No innovation. I said, no way on my dead body that we keep employing those people who come from a bigger organization than your organization. because they don't have the vision, the drive, the spirit, the culture. And this is what I regret up till now. But I hope, as I said, that the academy will take care of it nowadays.
50 years of point of time, what do you want to see? Big achievements, like big milestones?
Yeah, in 50 years' time, we need to look at the humanitarian sector, a global humanitarian sector, as being driven by multicultural and multi-value and multi-faith. Not one faith.
Diversity.
Yeah, this is what we started 34 years ago. Now there's a lot of speakers coming from different parts of the world to speak, whether they're Hindu, or they are actually Christian, or they are Muslims, or they are Rastafari, or they are Buddhist, or they are. What we need, this to be that's called like a must. When you have a play, you should play a bigger role in this. And when other people listen to you, what we need to see, which is my dream, is the donor culture, which you are suffering badly from it nowadays, whether they are from the east or from the west, from the north or from the south, affecting badly and negatively the local community. I'm not joking. They told you about humanitarian response. You cannot do anything in development or rehabilitation unless and until there's ceasefire. We're in Syria now. We changed totally a very independent, productive society into a depending society. In Somalia, the same. More than 25 years of humanitarian response. If you go to Somalia, more than 60 to 70% or more safe. 70 or 80% of the country is safe. So where is the development program? Where is the construction? Nothing. Don't ever let them to keep fostering the dependency syndrome. And fight hard to make the individual citizen from the local community to be independent on his feet. Economy is manual work. Economy is local market. Economy is a farmer. Economy is a shepherd. This is the economy. We can build it bottom up. But what I'm giving the example of Somalia and the example of other countries. If there's a conflict in a country now, there's certain area which peaceful. Let me start development in this. Let me start dividing the humanitarian response into two parts. One is traditional, when there's a lot of thousands of refugees are coming out or displaced people. The other one is where it's safe to start development. And this is your role. If you change the map of funding during the humanitarian response. This is my dream.
I think here you have a question. Maybe some of our colleagues like me, so the CMT member will stay back and others can, because they all have to go for their.
So, how many more minutes?
No, we will continue inshallah with the CMT team and all. So, but other people have to leave, so they have to.
If you want to leave, they can leave.
Yeah, no problem. So because traffic in Dhaka is quite challenging, so they have to go for the iftar. So CMT members can stay back, and others can you are free to go. So thank you very much for coming over, Jazakallah, and thank you for your time.
I'm feeling very sick. Paining.
You want to leave? Okay. So.